Education in Taiwan mostly involves lectures by teachers, with few hands-on or brainstorming activities for the students. To make up for deficiencies in school and traditional education, the Taiwan Forestry Research Institute has transformed ecological surveys and scientific research into entertaining yet educational activities and games by designing the Natural Inquiry program following the constructivist and inquiry education strategies. Natural inquiry education is done through group activities. The lecturer provides a question, students come up with hypotheses, engage themselves in hands-on operations, and validate or overthrow the hypotheses with the results. Students brainstorm and work hands-on to complete the given assignment through teamwork and share the results by presenting reports in the end. This helps them explore the wonder of the natural world. Natural inquiry education does not focus on identifying species or rote learning. Instead, various living things and their habitats in the natural world are the teaching materials. Students are given the incentive to observe, describe, and identify species, and see the relationship between species and their habitats through comparisons of individual quantities. Natural inquiry education is carried out in the following ways. The first one is the exploration of grassland plants to understand the species and quantities of grassland plants. First, students are guided to observe the morphology of plants. Do they have parallel veins or reticulate veins? When students come across something that they do not know, they sketch the morphology. If they do not know the name, they give it a name by its characteristics. After that, students calculate the quantities of plants singularly, as a plant or stem, or plurally, such as bundle, bush, cluster, string, strand, series, or array. Sometimes the more complex unit area occupancy is calculated. It is called the coverage or coverage rate. During activities, the students in groups compare differences in the species and quantities of plants under different environments, such as the differences between grasses that grow by the roadside and those that do not, or between shaded and not shaded grasslands. The second way is the exploration of grassland invertebrates. Students utilize insect research tools and materials such as aerial nets, magnifying glasses, large sealable bags, record boards, paper, pens, etc. Students pair up and have 1 minute to try to capture invertebrates, and then the next pair repeats the same process. After invertebrates are caught, their species and quantities are determined. If students do not know how to classify the invertebrates, they can sketch them. The purpose is to compare differences in the species and quantities of invertebrates, if any, under different environments, such as in or out of the shade, short grass, long grass, or artificial grassland environments. The third one is the exploration of aquatic invertebrates. Students utilize simple aquatic research tools including aquatic nets, water trays, spoons, record boards, etc., and choose different aquatic settings such as those with or without underwater grasses, shaded or not shaded, in flowing or stagnant waters for them to explore. Meanwhile, students identify the species of aquatic invertebrates by observing how they swim, breathe, and their feeding habits: herbivore, carnivore, omnivore, or tetraidivore, for example. The difficulty of the inquiry questions can vary with the age and education background of the students. Related issues such as the food chain and water pollution can also be explored. while the differences in the species and quantities of invertebrates in different aquatic habitats are compared. The last one is the exploration of traps. Students make traps for catching small animals with simple materials, such as PET bottles, cups, or bamboo culms, and describe and calculate the species and quantities of captured invertebrates. If they do not know how to classify the invertebrates, they can also sketch the invertebrates. The exploration of traps allows students to explore and compare the differences in the feeding habits, activities, and behavior of animals captured from different habitats: roadside, bushes, short grasses, long grasses, or artificial grassland. Using different lures, carnivorous or herbivorous, and at different times, day or night. Students need to be reminded that they may not harm animals they catch while engaging themselves in all activities, and must be grateful to the animals and release them back to where they were found after the activities are completed. The Natural Inquiry Program of the Taiwan Forestry Research Institute combines intellectual scientific survey, sensible static observation, and nocturnal experience, as well as interesting ecological activities in one. It helps boost students' knowledge of the natural environment and also enhances interest in exploring the wonders of nature. It is the Institute's hope that this educational pattern will inspire more groups or institutions in the future, so that our people can jointly participate in the learning by doing ecological exploratory education.